It's Kick Shits and Giggles FC. Oh, swearing before the even first seconds of the show. Guys, I'm sorry I'm late, but if it wasn't for my guy over here, I would have been streaming another hour later. This gap between the UK and Aussie is getting to me, but you know what? It's all good. 2025 starts off with a bang for Arsenal. We go over there and hammer Brentford 3-1. Joined here today with my guy Akpos. How you feeling, my guy? How you doing?
Well, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling excited. I'm feeling happy with the start from this team in the new year. So I think we started the new year on a very good foot. So happy New Year to everybody, Gunners fans, opposition fans. I hope you're having a wonderful time with your friends and your family. But also happy New Year also to you, Aussie Gunner. Thanks for having me once again on the show.
Bro, much love, much love. And look, Happy New Year to everybody. A great way for 2025 to kick off with a bang for Arsenal. To be honest, guys, this was supposed to be a tough game for Arsenal. Brentford, great home record. And it was just simple from Arsenal. Kicked in the door, waving the 4-4 with Brentford saying, Papa, don't hit me no more. It was horrible. We went at them so well from the get-go. Now, honestly, I was expecting to be this a bit more of a competition. I wasn't expecting it to be like, robbery, freight train, Akpos. I mean, you saw the lineup to kick off with. I don't think you were too amused with it. Apparently, we've got a bug. What do you make of this bug? Honestly, Akpos, a bug. Apparently, we've got some boys that are sick.
Well, I think I was listening to Mikel Spresa after the game, and I said that during this period, you can have a lot of these things flying around, and sometimes it could start with someone in the camp, in the training. These guys are spending a lot of times together playing one games every 3 to 4 days. So I think it could have potentially started with someone that brought it into the camp, and it kicked off from there because according to Mikel, it was bad. I wouldn't say very bad. Okay, let me try to say bad for Kai Havertz, who he said it was in a condition that he could not play, that he was just put in a car to go back home. I hope he's getting so much better because we need all of our players right now. But also, I think from what Mikel said, he said the bug was, a lot of players were not feeling 100%. They were not feeling very good on the pitch and off the pitch. So definitely some of these guys also played with it on the pitch yesterday. So I would also want to commend the team also for their fighting spirit, for going out there yesterday, even when they were not feeling their very best. They also got the job done. So credit to the guys who started, credit to the guys who later came in on the bench that were not feeling too good. But I think we were already with a team squad, but what we had left yesterday was able to execute the job. And I think that's what a lot of us have been screaming for. A big club like Arsenal, when you're missing 1, 2, 3 players, we need the other guys to step up. That's what makes you a big club. And that was what we could see yesterday. We were missing our best player in Bukayo Saka. We had Kai Havertz, who was also one of the chief contributors in terms of goal, out yesterday. We had Liam Trossard also on the bench, but the guys who were on the pitch were able to get the job done. So credit to everybody that played yesterday games, the guys who were also on the bench that had us bugged, that were not feeling 100%. Credit to all of them for the effort also that they're putting into the game yesterday.
I think you're 100% right. These players looked a little bit lethargic. I mean, from my opinion, I think Calafiori in this game didn't look himself. I saw Calafiori start, and as a big Calafiori fan, I was excited. Unfortunately, because of maybe this bug or maybe a little bit of rust in the cogs, Calafiori really did not shine when he had the opportunity to take over that left wing back role. But rolling into this game, guys, I mean, I'll be honest with you. Akpos, to be honest, my man, in this game, we really had, Akpos is just out at the moment, guys. We really had an opportunity to put the pressure back onto Liverpool, and we took that. We took that opportunity. It's refreshing to see that Arsenal, without Bukayo Saka, without a Declan Rice, right? Without even Skelly in the back, right? Can still get maybe a point, 3 points, or even stay in the game. Once upon a time, let's be perfectly honest, Arsenal missed one player, and you know what happens? We capitulate. This was a game where we were missing numerous players. Mikel Moreno steps in. I call him Frankenstein, the Spanish Frankenstein, in my opinion. I'm not a big Moreno fan. Let's let Akpos back in the mix. Moreno comes into this game, sets in for Declan Rice, sets in for Kai Havertz. Does a bit of a job. But the biggest performer for me in that game, in my opinion, a player who bossed the midfield, wasn't Mikel Moreno, wasn't even Martin Odegaard, right? I think Martin Odegaard, in my opinion, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm noticing one little thing about Martin Odegaard that I'm not liking is the fact that as more of the cam midfielder, more of the attacking midfielder, he seems to be having to drop back almost all the way to the defenders in the number 6 role to pick up the ball. And I think that is what's affecting his productivity in the game. But I do believe that the best midfielder on that pitch in this game was the one, the only, the man that needs to take a bow, but Thomas Partey. Boston midfield. Thomas Partey that was taking shots on goal, Akpos. When have you seen this? This looked like a man-possessed Thomas Partey.
Well, I think what we saw from Thomas Partey yesterday is what a lot of us have been talking about Thomas Partey so far this season. I think, when the ships are down, when you're in a storm, you need your experienced players to step up. And when Bukayo Saka also had that injury, a lot of us said the experienced guys need to step up in this team right now. They need to, step up when things are going to be difficult for the team. And that was what Thomas Partey did yesterday. Immediately we went one goal down. Thomas Partey, step up, and it showed that he wanted to make things happen, the way he was progressing the ball from deep midfield, the way he was, taking shots, like you said, something we've not seen him do that very often. But for me, I think it shows us how vital the senior guys are going to be for most part of this season, because in difficult moments, that's when I don't think you need an 18-year-old, 18-year-old, to be taking most of that responsibility in an away game at Brentford, where they've only lost one game at home this season so far before losing to us, which was to Nottingham Forest before Christmas. So I think that was a difficult away ground to go there, and you need your experienced players to step up when things are not going your way. And that was what Thomas Partey did. He bossed the midfield totally, like you said. It was, passing forward and progressive passes, taking shots, like you said. So I think Thomas Partey has also shown why some fans should not be very quick to write off players. I think at the start of this season, some section of the Arsenal fan base were saying Thomas Partey was finished here and there. It needs to be sold. It needs to, this is the right time to cash in on Thomas Partey. And some of us were saying, I don't think an experienced player like Thomas Partey should be phased out just like that. I think it should be given 1 more season, play at least to the end of the season. If he's playing very well, you are bringing in, even if you are bringing in a replacement, it needs to be phased out gradually because of how integral, how vital he is to this team right now. And we should also not forget that a lot of our other midfielders, a lot of our other offensive players are playing with so much freedom because of how Thomas Partey makes things happen behind them. It gives the players around him so much freedom because of how he covers things. If you go back and watch that game again, there were a lot of situations where Brentford tries to counter us, and Thomas Partey is the one throwing spanners into their work, is the one retrieving the ball. I think he had most recoveries yesterday. He had most duels won yesterday in yesterday's game. If we can pull up the statistics from the game, so I think that was totally a Thomas Partey show, and that is what we want to see from our experienced players this season. When it's going to be difficult, when we are going to be walking the storm, we need our experienced guys to step up and take on the responsibility to make things happen for this team. So credit to Thomas Partey, credit to the entire team though. But for me, Thomas Partey was my man of the match yesterday, was the guy that made things happen. And you talked about Martin Odegaard. For me, I'm not seeing the best of Martin Odegaard so far this season, but I would want to give him the benefit of that with the fact that he went on that injury and all. So, but for me, I think it's not playing his best football. It's not playing with the sharpness that we know him to be. He was the one that lost the ball that resulted in the Brian Mbeumo goal yesterday. So I think I just need to see him doing so much better. I need, like you said, we need to see him getting more into those dangerous positions where he could make things pay, creating for us, creating chances that would lead to goals, getting into goals, taking shots more, because this is something I've also criticized him so far in the start of the season. I think he's not taking enough shots. I need him taking shots more, because it was the shot on Thomas Partey yesterday that led to the Gabriel Jesus goal. We want to see our midfielders taking more shots in these dangerous positions. This is what I would want to say firstly now on the Thomas Partey situation and also on Martin Odegaard's performance.
I think, to be honest, I couldn't have said it better myself. I think Thomas Partey decided in this game that he needed to show up. If he didn't show up in this game, it would have just put him further down the pecking order. I think he can hear it from the fans that he knows that, maybe he's surplus to requirements. You have Declan Rice that's more than likely going to play that 6 next year, right? And he's noticing that Declan Rice being played forward isn't working. He's been on the bench. He's not injured, but he's not getting picked. He's being overshadowed by a Kai Havertz. He's being overshadowed by a Declan Rice. And what I love about this is his head didn't drop. He did not drop. What he said was, I'm taking the opportunity that's in front of me now, and I'm going to play. I'm going to do the best I possibly can to give the manager a problem. And that's what we want. We want our players to be able to give Arteta a headache. Selection issues. I want him to be able to have that issue where it's like, you know what? Who do I start? Because to be honest, look at Jesus. Jesus is a player out of form, a player that I've said a million times we've got to get rid. Comes back on form and keeps hungry. That first goal is a classic number 9 all day. That's a poacher's goal. Everybody, every single defender is looking the other way around. The only player that's looking towards the goal or the opportunity is one person. It's typical number 9, typical goal poacher. He sees the ball and straight away he's on it just that quick. The goalkeeper puts a save on it, and before he knows it, the ball's in the back of the net, hasn't even got enough time to react. That is a number 9. That's a number 9 with confidence. That's a number 9 that's trying to say to people, look, I am here. I know I haven't been in the best of form, but I am now. You know what I mean? So play me. Play me and I'll get you those goals. And what is that? Was that 6 goals now for Gabriel Jesus? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, 6-6 now.
That's 6. I mean, that's 6 from how many? That's 6 goals in 11, isn't it? 6 and 11 starts?
Thereabouts,
right? So the way I'm seeing it at the moment, Jesus in form, Partey in form, 2 players that we're seeing and sitting on the bench. That bench isn't that, in my opinion, that diminishing effect that it had on other players sitting on the bench and dropping their heads and not coming back. But the bench at Arsenal is like, yes, I'm sitting here, but when I do get my opportunity, it might be a slim one. It might be a small one. I got to take it. I really do. Why not Arteta is a loser? Here we go. We did good to get 3 points. Professional, no thrills, a couple of spills. You're talking about the Raya double save. Like, seriously. Yeah. Now that, my goodness. Don't get me wrong. He did well to get back, but he created the save.
Yes.
So, first game back at Brentford, I think. Am I right? Is that his first game back against? It is.
Yes. You remember he did not play last season because it was cup time. It was still a Brentford player actually, so he could not play. So this was his first game back.
It's his first game back, and to be honest, he almost made a bit of a hash of it. I mean, that goal from Mbeumo. If we look at that goal, and I'm gonna, he could have done better. But you know who else? There were a couple of problems here. Odegaard loses the ball. Okay, that's weak from Odegaard. That was weak. That loss of the ball. Calafiori, now I say inexperienced in the Premier League, maybe some cobwebs. He allowed his winger way too much space. He's not a natural wing back, but did you see the amount of space he allowed that wing back? He allowed him too much. He needed to push him towards the sideline. Instead, he gave him so much room that he invited him into the box. Exactly. What is a winger going to do? He's going to cut in. And as soon as he cuts in, and now he's got an option, that goal is no longer at an angle, it's open, and now you've got more opportunities. You can either go to the far post or the near. You always have to make that angle tighter. And I was surprised that Calafiori gave him that opportunity. I would say Raya needed to do better when it came to that goal, but I would say that Calafiori really let down that left wing when it came to defending Mbeumo. Why not Spursy? More shots. No, Akpom. This isn't MTV Little John music video. Don't get that one. Don't get that one. Sorry, bro. Don't get that one. What do we get?
did not
Jesus is all right, but I would still look for another in January. Woods from the neck of the woods, AG. Look, now this is a good point. Jesus is all right for depth, and I agree with this, for depth. And I would still, if he doesn't stay on form, would be considering a sale. But do we need someone better? Yes. 150%. Exactly. But everyone on the panel here, me, Akpos, agree with you. Yes, we need better than him. But I wouldn't say look, unfortunately, this is Arsenal Football Club. And I know that a number 9 is something that we've been wanting for a long time, but I believe that our issue is at 7 and 11. Right? Now, our 7 being Bukayo Saka, so not much of a problem, maybe depth being the issue there, but the 11, in my opinion, is Martinelli. Now, the problem that we have here with Martinelli is that, unfortunately, the issue with Martinelli is he isn't as consistent as we would like him to be. Now, because he's not as consistent as we'd like him to be, I think that Leandro Trossard and Gabriel Martinelli on the left wing are nowhere near as much a threat as Bukayo Saka. Hence why I would say, if it's a choice between a number 9 and an 11, today, right now, I'm taking an 11 to start the next season. But if we can get 2 players, a 9 and an 11, I'm all with you. Because I believe that those 2 positions right now at Arsenal are a little bit shaky. Number 8 we'll get into later on, I guess. But that's a fair shout. Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year, my man. Guys, if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe if you could. We're at 935 subs, so we've hit the ground running on the comeback of the Aussie Gooner channel. Big up to the guys that never a foul. Big up to Akpos. We've been doing really well. If you could, his link is down below in the description, so you have to check that out. I know we're halfway through the show, but I'm doing it now, so please smash the likes for the guy. Smash the like, share this out. Hopefully, you can get a bit more people in the chit chat. Akpos, I want to ask you something. When you look at our midfield with Ødegaard, Moreno, Thomas Partey, right? You look at Thomas Partey and the way he's playing. Now, I believe that Ødegaard in this position, right? He has a Thomas Partey who was doing the work. Like you said, he was cleaning up for the defenders. He was making sure to break down the play. Do you think it's a tactical move from Mikel Arteta to tell Ødegaard to drop back so far to collect the ball? Or is this just something that Ødegaard does? Because I'm a little bit confused in this. I believe it's a tactical move by Arteta, but some could say the opposite, that it could be just an Ødegaard move, because I just believe that this continuation of him going back almost to the number 2 position to pick up the ball is costing us in the transition. Don't get me wrong, he does techers in the midfield, but in his own half. I think he's too far out of position to be effective. Akpos, your sound.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. What were you saying?
So I said I agree with what you were saying with respect to Martin Ødegaard. If we were playing maybe a different number 6 to Thomas Partey yesterday, I would say, okay, maybe it can drop deep, because sometimes some of our other number 6 do not progress the ball that much in terms of passing forward passes. For example, I would say Declan Rice, for example. Sometimes I have this concern with him, playing too much sideways and backward passes. I want to see forward progression. But with playing with a number 6 like Thomas Partey, and with the way he was playing yesterday, I think there was no need for Martin Ødegaard to be dropping that deep. He needs to try to stay more in position and so that Thomas Partey could progress the ball. And also, you were playing with Orient Timber as your right fullback. We know that Timber loves to bump forward. So I think he needs to try to play higher up on the pitch so that we could have that right side overload in the opposition area, not having the overload in our own half. He needs to try to stay more in position, get into those dangerous positions where he could potentially start something to create an opportunity for us, or potentially have an opportunity to take a shot on goal that could potentially lead to a goal like Thomas Partey did. So I totally share your worries with him coming too deep, considering the fact that we have a midfielder playing as a number 6 that can progress the ball very well, and a midfielder who gives you so much security. So why not stay more in opposition half where we need you to be, where you could, I think this is also one of the worries and one of the complaints we've had about Gabriel Jesus and Kai Havertz playing in the number 9 position, because a lot of times we tend to find them dropping very deep into midfield. And when our wingers have the ball, when you need the number 9 to be in that dangerous position, they would be missing. We have nobody in the box, trying to attack those cutting, trying to attack the crosses. So I think this is also something Mikel Arteta can also, talk to him about. Ask him to stay more in those positions, because one of the things why I think we need our number 10, our number 9 in this attacking position more is because of the defensive solidity we have. Trust the defense and the number 6, the defensive part of the midfield to do their job, and you stay in the offensive position more to get things going on the offensive side. So I think Mikel Arteta also needs to tell our number 9 also. I think Gabriel Jesus is doing it so much more, because if he had dropped deep in that situation where Thomas Partey was taking that shot, I don't think he would be in the number 9 position where he scores that goal. So we need our number 9 and our attacking midfielder, our number 10 in this position, not to drop too deep more often. Stay in, hold your position, stay where we need to have you making things happen for us in the offensive side. So I totally agree with your consent with Martin Odegaard dropping very deep. Just maybe this is happening with the absence of Bukayo Saka, in my opinion. I just want to say, just maybe it's happening in the absence of Saka, but I would want to see him playing higher up in the pitch, because that's where it causes more danger to opposition teams.
100%. And I think the more he does this, the more it's going to hold us back. It's going to hold us at ransom. Shout out to 7-Inch Destroyer for subbing. Big up, man. Thank you very much for that. This is a good shout. Marmoush was somebody we were told about in the last stream, Akpos. A player, it was DWTT and myself who were in this stream, and we were told about Omar Marmoush, right? And I was like, sorry, don't know him. Did a bit of research playing at Frankfurt. 26-year-old striker who's on point. Big boy, strong. This is a good shout for a striker. I have looked a little bit at him from here and there. Looked at some highlights, looked at some Frankfurt games. He's impressive. He would command a pretty penny. Would I take him right now? It might be worth a gamble. But you know what? He is one of those players that, to be honest, right now, everybody's looking at. And I don't know if it's just going to be Arsenal. And I think everyone's going to be linked to us at the moment anyway. I mean, right now, I want a winger. And if it means a winger and this bloke is 9, I'll take it. But you know what? He's a very good comment here. Ethan Wanyeri was cooking on that right wing. Thank you, because that was exactly what I was going to say next. I love it. We're in sync. I love this, guys. Also, Partey's Arsenal's best player. Odegaard doing too many flashy passes and needs to keep it simple. Now, I think the flashy passes, I wouldn't mind. But you know where I wouldn't want the flashy passes and the techers? In my own half. When I'm in my own half or in my own third, I've got this idea that it's simple, straightforward passes and no techers. Thierry Henry, all good. Dennis Bergkamp, all good. Santi Cazorla, all good. Martin Odegaard, no good. You're going to make a simple pass if you're going to be in your own third, because he has cost us before. When you're in the final third, your opposition's third, do as you please, do your techers and shit. You know what I mean? But don't be doing it in your own half, because that's where you get caught out. Wanyeri, on that right side, was playing like a player possessed. Another player who comes off the bench and has something to prove. And you could see it. Again, he knows he doesn't get a look in for Odegaard. You know, Odegaard holds that position, holds it strong. He's a 10. Now he gets pulled into Saka's position and he says, and what now? Yeah, I can play wing. And what now? And did he play wing? He played, in my opinion, Wanyeri played that wing very well. For a player who isn't a natural winger, the crosses that were coming in were clean. The techers were good. The link-up play was solid for a player who doesn't play on the wing. What do you think of Ethan in that side? What do you think of Ethan's performance in this game, Akpos?
Well, Aiton's performance for me was a big one because I'm one of the pro Aiton winery guys. One of those I'm one of the gunners who were saying and were shouting for Mikel Arteta to give him more time while Martin Odegaard was out injured. You remember you were also calling for Aiton to get more time in that center attacking midfield position, but we did not get to see that because for me, I question Mikel Arteta's handling of this young prospect because every time he has started a game during that period, it did not put a foot wrong. It was always giving a potential man of the match performances in those starts he had during the cup games. So for me, I was surprised that Mikel Arteta did not give him an opportunity, a start in that attacking midfield position when Martin Odegaard was out injured. But now I'm beginning to see the manager put more faith in him, put more trust in him. So I think this gave me some form of excitement for what is to come with this young player, because I was also telling somebody the other time that it would definitely get his chance now with Saka out injured, no Raheem Sterling. Definitely the manager hand has been forced to play him. And this is a player who's showing us that, yes, I'm willing to interpret different positions, because for me, I'm always looking at when a young player comes into the first team and they are asked to play more than one position. I'm eagerly looking, keeping an eye on them and seeing how they are interpreting this position. And this tells me that Ethan Nwaneri is a football brain, in my opinion. And Mikel Arteta also said in one of his pressers that it could also play potentially as a number 9. When you see a player who interprets different positions like this, I think this is something similar that we saw with Bukayo Saka. I'm not comparing Nwaneri to Bukayo Saka, guys, but I'm just saying when Saka came into the team initially, we saw him playing as left back, left wing back, center midfield, and now he's playing as a right winger. So Ethan Nwaneri is giving me a little bit of that vibe, a player who has got very good decision making, a player who you could also potentially play in different positions. So for me, I just want to see him continue to develop at this football club. And one of the things I thought it would have done yesterday more, it would have taken more shots, but I don't know the instruction he has been given from the manager, and maybe he was trying to play it a little bit safe. But this is a young player who was playing in a difficult ground yesterday, playing with so much confidence, ready to take on players, and ready to make things happen. So I think this is a big plus for Ethan Nwaneri, and this is also a big plus for the A-End Academy, in my opinion. I think this is also showing the young guys there that you could potentially do what you're doing if you do put in a good shift. If you continue to develop and focus on your football, you will get your opportunity also with the first team. So credit to Mikel Arteta for trusting our youth, and credit to Ethan Nwaneri because I think he's taking his chances that he's been given now.
And it's a breath of fresh air, just like you said here. Ethan comes in, and in my opinion, Ethan now, I'd like to see Ethan in when it comes to the Arsenal squad. Yes, he played the right wing. Okay, he played it well. But I'd even go as far as playing him side by side as a double 8, 2-8 side by side. Odegaard and Ethan playing the 8. Instead of having Moreno beside Odegaard, if I want to pose an attacking threat, if I want to have a partner in disguise or a partner in crime next to Odegaard, I would probably rather have Ethan in there next time than Kai. Now, I know Kai gives us a different sort of attack strategy when we play sort of a 4-4-2. But if we're going to play, say, the 4-3-3 as we're playing, and we play with a separate 6, we play 2-8 side by side, I think Ethan would be a good shout to be beside Odegaard to open up that left-hand side. Because when we look at this comment here, he says, do you think that Ethan was better than Martinelli yesterday? I think Martinelli had a fair game because of the link-up play between him and Jesus. And because of the goal, it would edge Martinelli a little bit further forward. But that's not to overshadow Ethan's game. I think Ethan had a wonderful game for a player out of position and for a player of his age. I think Ethan really took the opportunity, and he's trying to show Mikel that I can become a selection problem for you and for every other player. Skelly is now looking at left back. Calafiori, in my opinion, and we can get into Calafiori now. I think Calafiori in this game was off. I think Calafiori in this game, was there a bug? Did he have it? Because I've seen Calafiori play, and the distance that left between him and Mbeumo pretty much offered Mbeumo the goal. So Skelly right now will be looking at that and thinking to himself, I know I'm going to be in the next game. Based on my performance, Skelly's thinking to himself right now, I'm in. I think with this Arsenal squad right now, when we look at, I know some of the goals, and now, Akpos, I'm going to get into some of the rival fans, yeah? Because I'll watch some of the rival fans celebrating goals against us. I'll watch that. Because some of these fans, unfortunately, you know what the thing is, yeah? The only time they can smile is when we fail, yeah? So I watched, who did I see? I saw, who's that Man United fan? Big Man United fan, slipping my tongue. Saeed, right? He's watching the fucking game, right? Saeed's watching it, Saeed TV's watching it. Brentford score, he jumps up like he's a Spurs fan. It was that bad. I'm like, you're a Man United fan, and the only time you've been happy this whole season was when Brentford scored a goal against Arsenal. It was great to watch the rival fans are now watching our games, right? Just to get a bit of a high. All these Man United fans are watching our game right now, hoping that we'll crash. Liverpool fans, Hussein was watching it too. Don't blame him, but I don't blame him because in his mind, he's like, I need him to drop points to get him out of the equation. But he's sitting there going, jammy goal here, jammy goal there, jammy goal here, jammy goal there. Bro, they can be as jammy as fuck. As long as I get 3 points, I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? I'll Moreno this shit, score one goal and defend for the rest. What do you feel, Akpos, when it comes to the rival fans right now on Arsenal, yeah? Does it feel as if they're just dying for us to fail just so they can have a bit of a high? Because that's how it feels to me right now, man. Big up.
Well, I think Arsenal fans have had this advantage over a lot of rival fans right now in the recent times. Manchester United have not been able to beat us in a long while now. So when you look at the head-to-head in the recent features, that speaks volume of our progression in the right direction. I think the only thing that's missing now, the only thing that rival fans could banter this team with is the fact that we have not won the big trophies, and that is what we are all. We are all screaming for, because they can't say my team is going to play your team off the park. They can't say my team is going to beat you guys home and away. So I think the only thing they banter us with now is you have not won the league yet. You've been contenders for the last couple of seasons, but you've not won the league yet. So I think that's the only thing. That's the only thing missing. And I'm hoping that real soon we'll make sure that they don't have that also to banter us with. I think just looking at Manchester United in the last couple of games, we've had the upper hand in the head-to-head. If you want to talk about Chelsea, we've also had the upper hand. If you want to talk about Manchester City now, we are holding our own against Manchester City. You want to talk about Liverpool also, we are doing very well also against Liverpool. So I think this gives us, we Arsenal fans, advantage when it comes to this banter talks and all of that. So they want to see us fail. And every time we concede the goal, I think that's the only opportunity they have to celebrate, because they can't celebrate it when their team is actually playing against us. So I think they have little on next to nothing to banter us about. So when they have, these little moments, these little opportunities, they want to celebrate. I think during the period when we were scoring a lot of goals, a lot of them were screaming set piece FC, corner kick FC.
Yeah.
Now we are scoring a lot of goals from open play, and they have next to nothing to complain about now. I think when other teams score goals from set piece, they don't say anything. But when it's Arsenal, they always have something to talk about it. They only have something to say. So now we are scoring goals from open play. It's no longer set piece FC. When we concede one goal, they are jumping off their chairs and celebrating. So I think we as a football club right now, we are making it difficult for the opposition fans. So I hope and I pray long may it continue. And I hope that we are going to start to win the big trophies. And this is why a lot of us Arsenal fans were also, angry with the business we did in the summer. If we had done a proper business, if we had been more proactive in the summer transfer window, I think we would have given this, or we would have been drinking more of the tears of the opposition fans now. Because I want to see them cry. I want to see them shouting, Corner Kick FC. I want to see them shouting, boring Arsenal, 1-0 to the Arsenal. As long as we are winning, I don't care how we win. I just want to see this team win. I just want to see this team, go out there, make the opposition fans cry so much more. So for me, I want to see them cry more. And I hope that in the January transfer window, we would potentially have, even if it's one signing that would take us, from point A to maybe A+. I hope that Man U fans will continue to cry. Chelsea fans continue to cry. I want to drink your tears more. Liverpool fans, I hope that you will not win the league this season. Manchester City fans, I hope that you will continue to lose games. So for me, I don't care about the opposition fans. I care about Arsenal Football Club, and I want to see this team continue to win. And I hope that we'll have the big title, which is missing right now to this team. And the opposition fans, we have nothing else to talk about.
Look, I mean, when it comes to titles, we've got them. We've won them. It's been a long while, over 20 years. But people keep forgetting that we have won Premier League titles. Liverpool, you've got one. It's good. We've got 1, 2, 3. Right? You got to relax a little bit. But the good thing about this is that the ball's back in Liverpool's court. They've got that lead. They've got 3 + 3 + 3 on us right now. Yeah. At the moment, the gap is 6 points with a game in hand. I would rather be chasing the pack, chasing Liverpool, than being ahead. Now, not because of anything, Liverpool are going to do well in this position, right? Just like we have in the previous years. We've had leads before. We've had point gaps before where it looks like we're going to win the league and that's it. But football is a crazy thing. Anything can happen. What I like to see from this Arsenal squad is the fact that even if we miss a key player, Bukayo Saka, even if we miss a key player, Martin Odegaard, right? Even if we miss a key player, Declan Rice, we manage to get results. The players that are coming in are taking the opportunities that are put in front of them and doing their best to perform. Now, this is the key to Arsenal's success as well as that player's individual success to be selected. In my opinion, previous seasons, you'd definitely have Arsenal drop Declan Rice and fall apart. Arsenal lose Odegaard and fall apart. Arsenal lose Bukayo Saka and fall apart. This season, we've lost numerous players at different times. And guess what? We've managed to stay up there. We've managed to stay relevant. We've managed to stay up in and amongst the pack. We've done well in the Champions League. We've done well in the Cups. And we are still well and truly in this Premier League chase, this title chase right now. Yes, there's a points gap. Yes, it makes life difficult. When you see this massive gap, it's impossible. But remember in December when we were so far ahead, anything in football can happen, guys. Anything. That's why this January window is important. This is one signing that has to be the Aubameyang, Sanchez, Van Persie, or something like that. A player who can really easily terrify defenders. Now, one signing could be all we need. 2 signings would be a lot better. 3 would be wonderful. The one signing I think we could go for is Cunha from Wolves, in my opinion. And I'm going to do a transfer window update on that because there is a bit of chit-chat about that. And I'm going to break him down for everybody. That's a player that I'll look at. There are a couple of other wingers that are available at the moment that are still on Arsenal's radar. But I still believe the 11 position is open. And it could be open for a new player to come in. And not just this season, but for them to make that 11 position theirs from here on. And Trossard and Martinelli can fight for that position and or the right wing. That's my opinion. I think we need to make moves in January and they have to be solid. Cronkies have come out and said that there is money available. So let's see. Chelsea, Man United, and Liverpool are all praying. And Liverpool, those sneaky scousers, Arsenal's biggest cheerleaders until they went ahead. Now they're oh my days. Now this man is speaking facts. Exactly. Liverpool, we hope Arsenal win the league as long as Manchester City don't. Now, Arsenal, jam goal. Arsenal, look at them. Set piece FC. But it's okay for you to try and copy our set piece and fuck it up. They tried to copy our set piece style and fuck it up. And what now? Come on now, set piece FC. You know what? When you see a lot of teams before used to set up in a low block, Arsenal can't break the low block down. What do they do what are they going to do about the low block? Set piece. Get your low block, defend all you want. We'll press into the box. Eventually, we'll get a corner, and we'll make you pay from the corner. What happens when you're going to sit in the low block? You stay in your own third. You stay in your own third. We take a shot. It ricochets. There's a corner. We need to make teams pay for this. Now we are. We have. That is our solution to the low block. But people don't like it. People don't like it when Arsenal are doing well. I find that a little bit disheartening. Seems to be a bit of hate. I know, a bit of biased. Mr. Arsenal podcast. Bro, I've been saying for the last couple of weeks that the last 2 seasons we get in a position that we lead the pack at this stage, and we seem not to like being chased. So maybe chasing is the way to go. I believe so too. It just seems as if once we're in the lead, having people staring at our taillights scares the living daylights out of us, right? So maybe us chasing all the way to the end of the season could be good. Hey, look, Everton have to play Liverpool. Everton and Liverpool have to play one more game at Goodison for the last time. And we all know how much Everton would love to derail Liverpool's title run, right? And what are Everton good at? Crunch, dice style. So let's see. Let's see how that works out. Because when we get injuries, when Arsenal have injuries, it's like, oh, you have to deal with it. You have to have a big enough squad. You need to have squad depth. You're a big boy, right? So when Liverpool eventually get their injuries, I want the same energy pushed towards them. I want the same energy of, you got injuries now? Too bad, so sad. Figure it out. Joe Gomez is injured. He should be coming back in about 2 weeks. Konate's coming back next week. If Big Verge gets injured, I don't know. Like, honestly, Akpos, the Liverpool thing, like, that, just like this comment, I'll just put it back from the Mr. Arsenal podcast. I've been saying this for the last couple of weeks. The last 2 seasons, we get into a position, we lead the pack at this stage and seem not to be like being chased, right? I'll go to the next one. Maybe it's better that we're the chasers and not the one being chased. And I kind of agree with this. I think I like the idea of being maybe behind Liverpool, but just real close.
Well, for
and
me,
I believe that.
I think,
yeah.
Yeah, well, for me, I think we've seen us leading the pack and falling off short. And you're saying now, let's be the one behind applying the pressure on the team ahead of us. Just potentially, maybe we could see a different outcome. For me, I would love to, still be the one leading the pack, in my opinion. But like you said, this is where we are right now. I think with this so far this season, we've lost 2 games. Liverpool have lost 1, but we've drawn too much. I think we've drawn about 6 games. That's where we dropped off a lot of points, in my opinion. So now I think we are playing with a different kind of pressure now. I think the pressure when you are the team above the summit is so much different from when you are the team applying the pressure. You're the one chasing the team ahead of you. So I think just maybe we could potentially see a different outcome. Who knows? No one can tell what will happen in the next couple of games. There's still a lot of football left to play. There's still, things will still happen that will be above our control. But just like Mikel Arteta rightly said in one of his presser, he said that for us, we need to, continue to win every game. And let's see what's going to happen at the end of the day, because for Liverpool now, for them to win the league, they need to drop as a minimum point as much as possible, in my opinion. So for me, let's just continue to win our game. I would take it each game at a time right now, 3 points at a time. For me, my main focus now is the next game where we are going to play Brighton away. So we need to go there, get 3 points, in my opinion. Continue to apply the pressure on Liverpool. I don't want us dropping points. I don't want us, making the gap so much bigger in terms of the team ahead of us in this position, which is Liverpool. So for me, I just want us to continue to win our games. If they drop points, we capitalize, we close the gap even further down the line. So let's continue to apply the pressure and see if they are going to be able to win all their games from now to the end of the season, because potentially there might also be some games where we might slip up. when we might drop points. So I just want us to continue to put on the pressure. And if they drop points, we capitalize on it and we could, beat them at the top of the table. So I think I don't see Manchester City coming back into the season, in my opinion. I think it's long gone for them. I still feel maybe, just maybe at the tail end of the season, they will have a couple of games where they would go on the winning streak. In my opinion, I still expect them to bounce back, but I don't expect them to bounce back and, come out at the top or the first two position at the end of the day. So for me, we should just continue to put more pressure on Liverpool, continue to win your games. And if they drop points, we need to capitalize on these opportunities, in my opinion.
Oh, 100%. It's one game at a time, 3 points at a time. That's it. That's all we have to do. Focus on our games and move forward. We don't need to win the games in dramatic fashion. And this is the thing that most people don't like. Most people understand, but they don't understand. It's 1-0 FC, the old Mourinho style football. When I remember that interview for Jose Mourinho back in the day. He's being pulled up. It's like, it was against Manchester City. He was managing Chelsea. Got the win. I think it was 1-0. And I think the interviewer comes up to Jose Mourinho and says, did you see that, Manchester City, almost 70% possession, throughout the whole game? And he said, yeah, that's not a problem. They can take the ball home. I'll just take the 3 points, right? At the end of the day, you could score 5 goals in a game. If you concede 6, it's all over. Yeah, it was an exciting match for everybody else, but you didn't get your 3. You could score 5 goals, right, and still only get the 3 points that I got when I won 1-0. At the end of the day, what I want from Arsenal Football Club is that everybody that comes onto that pitch can do a job. Just do your job. Get in there, do your job. If you've jumped in, you're playing 6, play 6. If you're playing 11 or 7, play it. If you're playing 9, play it. You're there now. You could be there tomorrow. That's all I want. One game at a time. Basic performances, 1-0, 1-0, 2-0, 2-0. I don't care. Goal difference makes the difference to me. Concede less, hopefully score more. You know what I mean? Hey, Luca in the building. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too, my guy. Luca Talks Ball back on YouTube, just like I think it was the Mr. Arsenal podcast making a return to YouTube. Some of the old school channels making it back. Jump onto his channel. Also, jump on to Mr. Arsenal podcast. Check them out as well. And if you can, Akpos, subscribe here, like the vid. Come on, pay some rent. Just hit the like. It won't hurt. Don't have a lot of people in the chat, but it's all good. It's all good for everyone that's here. Always, guys. Did you see Semi Mokbay article on Arsenal's plans for Jan and summer? No, I haven't. I actually haven't. That's no doubt. I have not seen the article yet. Have you, Akpos?
No, not yet. No, yeah, I've not seen it also.
No, I'm sorry. I'd comment on it if I'd seen it. I'm going to be honest. I haven't seen it. Neither one of us have. Thoughts on the game? First half crap and second half much better. Ethan really stood out. First half, I think it wasn't great, but it wasn't shit. It wasn't perfect that we got caught at Mbeumo. Real quick, I'll recap for you. But I think Calafiori really had a bad game, in my opinion. What Jose quote? My football is boring. I think not winning for 20 years is boring. Here we go. Look, that's a Jose quote, of course, yeah. But remember, we still got 3. I'm just saying that we still got 3, bro. Another test.
I would want to say something about. I want to say something about what a lot of fans were saying about Arsenal playing some boring football this season, trying to say that this Arsenal team has got a lot of similarity with the Jose Mourinho team and all of that. For me, I think when we used to play only in a particular way, when we used to play only the beautiful football, and teams prevented us from playing that way, and we got smashed in some away games and some home games. A lot of people were saying we could only play as boys. If you stop us from playing only the beautiful football way, you'll beat Arsenal. Now this Arsenal team is showing that, look, you cannot bully me. You are not going to bully me in set piece situation. I can also win with different ways. I will also win when I'm not playing my best football. I could also win when I'm not dominating the game, because this is something that we've known and accustomed to the Arsenal Football Club. So now a lot of fans are mourning, a lot of fans are complaining about it. For me, I just want to win football games. I just want to see this team win the big trophies. And one way you are going to win it is to find a way to win also when you are not playing your best football. And this is something I want to credit Mikel Arteta and this team. We know a lot of us want to see the Arsenal way, the 10 touches before we score goals, 13 touches before we score a goal. But in football, realistically, every game is not going to be like that. There are some games where you're going to, let your opposition have the possession. And when you get the ball, you are making sure that they are going to pay for every moment that you are going to have those possession. So for me, this is something I would credit this Mikel Arteta team for. They know when to win also when they are not playing their best football. They know when to win ugly, if you want to use the word ugly out there. So for me, I think as a football team, you should be able to win when you are playing fantastic football. Also able to win when your opposition prevents you from playing fantastic football, but you grind this result, you get what is going to be. Because for me, I think this game is a result business. So what matters most for me is the 3 points. I don't care if you are going to play, the possession is going to be 80-20. But get the 3 points for me and let us achieve our goals. And the goals for Arsenal right now is to win the big trophies. So I don't care how Mikel Arteta and this team is going to do it. As long as they're going to produce results, as long as that 3 points is going to take me one step closer to the destination, I'm okay with it. Because we have seen a couple of years past, many Arsenal teams play beautiful football. But where has that gotten us? Nothing. So if we are going to sacrifice our beautiful football in some games and it's going to get us to where we are heading to, I'm willing to sacrifice that. That's what I would want to add to this boring football tag, corner kick, set piece, FC, whatever. If it's very easy, your team should also do it also. If corner kicks is easy, we want to see other teams, try to beat Arsenal to it. When you play the Arsenal Football Club, get corner kicks, get set piece, and score from it if it's very easy for also to execute this plan for me. So I would credit this team for finding ways to win when the team is also not playing free and flowing football. And I think this is a plus. This is not a demerit, in my opinion. This is an advantage. This is something I think we need in our arsenal.
Of course. You can't play your style of football and expect it to be effective in every single game. Look at Manchester City. Manchester City, right? What'd they do? They made their sole focus Erling Haaland. They changed their style and said, this is going to work for us. And the only way we're going to pretty much score is via Haaland. Haaland dries up. It all goes up to shit creek. They lose one player in Rodri, and apparently that's the reason why they're failing. Jack Grealish hasn't scored a goal in a whole year, but it wasn't a problem when Haaland was scoring. It wasn't a problem when Haaland was scoring. Now Haaland isn't scoring, and Jack Grealish still can't score, right? Phil Foden drops off. Unfortunately, you need to be able to get your goals from every possible angle. And that's what Arsenal do. So the reason why I took Grealish is their winger. I'm whinging about Gabriel Martinelli at Arsenal. I'm really whinging about him, right? Grealish hasn't scored in 2024. No one's talking about it. No one's talking about it. They never replaced Riyad Mahrez. What happened to Phil Foden? I thought he was better than Bukayo Saka. KDB, you can't see me. Where the fuck are you? Where are these players gone? Every single player's dropped their heads. All because one player can't put the ball into the back of the net, then they don't know what to do. They can't defend, they can't attack. They lose one player, they fall apart. Arsenal Football Club lost Declan Rice. Arsenal Football Club lost Thomas Partey. Arsenal Football Club lost Odegaard. Arsenal Football Club lost Saka. Arsenal Football Club lost Calafiori. All this season, Arsenal Football Club is sitting second, only lost twice. Why isn't anyone talking about that? These are all the injuries we've had so far. And we're still there, in the mix. It's a statement that Arsenal aren't that lightweight club anymore. And yeah, I'm with you. I'm hungry as well. But let's see if we can get it this year. Let's see. Luca, Jan, go sign Danny Olmo as cover for Saka. Olmo is not a right winger. He's more of a left and number 10. And Vlahovic. Okay, maybe Vlahovic. Okay, Vlahovic isn't Isak quality, but get someone who can do a job. Nothing like Rashford. Nah, Rashford won't come in. Koeman isn't someone we're looking at, my friend. And I'll be honest with you, Vlahovic isn't someone we're really looking at either. We're not. Vlahovic is a gamble, right? And I don't think we want to gamble with any money we're going to spend. I think the player that we're going to bring in is going to be of quality and someone who's doing it in the Premier League right now. Don't get me wrong, Olmo would be nice, but I think Barcelona got till Friday to figure out what's happening with Olmo. Evan Ferguson of Brighton can be an option for Arsenal in January. Ooh. Well, what would be the spend? Just wondering. What would be the spend? You could think about it, but I'd rather Cunha at the moment for me would be the kind of guy that I'd be going for from Wolves. But at the end of the day, beggars can't be choosers. We're also looking at Mbeumo. You know, he just scored against us. Another player that could do great on the wings. Why not Spursy? We mostly Mourinho boring. Given up the culture of attacking football, boring football needs to yield fruit. I understand that. Completely get it. Liverpool have done what in the last couple of years? Nothing. Remember, Manchester City have won the Premier League how many times in a row, Akpos? How many times? So everyone's been out of it. It's not that simple, right? And I understand boring football needs to yield fruit. I get it. Jurgen Klopp had to walk away. Arne Slot's come into Liverpool. Liverpool could drop points tomorrow. And if Liverpool drop it this year, right, and they don't get it this year, what's going to be said of them? The Premier League isn't easy to win, man. I get you. I 100% get you. But demanding something, I don't know. Maybe a new manager? Maybe. Maybe you're right. Maybe at the end of the season, if we don't see any progression, the Kroenkes are going to say time for a new manager. But let's be honest, we can sit here and talk about it the whole part of the season now, whilst the games are continuing. It's pointless. Mikel Arteta is not going to get the sack. They're not going to do it. They're professional. You know, this isn't. He isn't doing that bad to get him sacked now. But if at the end of the season he hasn't yielded anything and he spent a lot of money, I can understand it. Definitely. Evan Ferguson is crap. Off the bench, maybe not. Maybe not off the bench. There we go. Yes, 2 seasons back, Ferguson was decent, to be honest. Yeah, but the injuries killed Ferguson. Yeah. Let me just go through these real quick. Here we go. Just going to say about Calafiori. Yorol Hato is a player Arsenal still want at left back. I think outgoings to Kivior and Zini might force this. Now that is a good point, Akpos. Kivior and Zini going out, this is a very good comment. That's a possibility. What do you think? If they go out in summer.
Yeah. Well, for me, I'm honestly fed up with this one left back in every transfer window, in my opinion. I think we need.
Why not? I want 6.
Exactly, and this is one of the reasons why a lot of us have been saying we've kept too much focus on defense. We need to keep an eye also on the offensive side, and I've been very critical of Mikel Arteta on this particular topic, in my opinion, because I felt like offensively his recruitment has been poor. If you want to compare it with some of the defensive recruitment he has brought in, and I have concerns with some of the players also he have signed also, because if you look at so far under his reign, how many left back have we signed? And we've not one single of them have been able to make that position 100% of their own. In my opinion, I think Urian Timber is just the one that I would say, okay, if he goes to left back, it nails it. It keeps the shit, in my opinion, 100% so far, because he will be able to, balance defense and offense in a very balanced way. But so far,
he's dynamic.
Zini worked fantastically well in the first season, but after that, I think that transfer has not really worked for us. Kiwior has not been able to, hold up a position, whether it's left back, whether it's left center back. So that's also been another fail. And we should also not forget we still have Kieran Tierney also in the team. That's 3 left back right now. We have Ricardo Calafiori, and we have the young lad coming into the setup now from ill end. What's his name? MLS, as a lot of fans would also want to call him. So I don't think we really need a left back in the next transfer window, in my opinion. Even if we are going to let Zinchenko and Kiwior go, maybe if we bring in a left center back, I think we practically need a left center back more, in my opinion. So I don't know if Jaru could also play as a left center back if that is his best position, I would want to bring in a left center back who could, filling as cover for left back, not a left back specialist. I think we need a left center back specialist more, because if Gabriel is injured today, who comes in as a left center back?
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Calafiori was supposed to come in for Calafiori's supposed to play. He plays left back, but he's left center back. And I think that's where the transition into the squad, being injured so early, it's hurt him. He's a good player, and I've seen some really good signs from him, but the injuries have hurt him early on.
And with Calafiori, some of my concerns for Calafiori has been defensive. That is one reason why I don't trust him that much as a left center back, but I would want to see more from him. But also giving him the benefit of that defensively, coupled with the fact that he has just moved to a different league. We know in Serie A it is more technical, not as quick paced as the Premier League, not really much end-to-end in terms of if you want to look at the progression of the ball as fast as the Premier League. So I think he's still a young defender. He's just 22 or so. He would still, add this part to his game. So I don't want to be too harsh on him on the defensive side, but I have my defensive concerns about Ricardo Calafiori. So I would want to see him more left back now. Maybe as he gets more accustomed to playing in the Premier League, as he improves that defensive side of his game, I would want to see him play left center back in the future. But right now, I have my concerns about him defensively.
It is a little bit surprising, but I'm happy to give him benefit of the doubt off the bench until he can try and get his strides. I think Calafiori has got the ability, because I've seen some really good signs from him, and I've been watching him. He has made mistakes in this game against Brentford. I couldn't believe what I was watching. It was nothing like I've seen before, and he was completely off the pace. His passes were off. He was clearing the ball way up the pitch. No sort of idea or direction in a pass. He was off. He was having one of the worst games I've ever seen him play for Arsenal. But he hasn't played too many as well. So hopefully the Calafiori experiment comes good. Luca, I know what you're thinking. Who do we get? I get you. I'm going to start doing some transfer podcasts probably with Akpos. We'll talk about the transfer rumors, right, that are out there in regards to Arsenal, what we see out in the community. And we will do transfer wants, which will be what me and Akpos are hoping to see come in. Who would we want to come in, and who could possibly come in if it's not the traditional stuff from the media? They'll be coming up next week sometime, hopefully, and we'll break down that on another show. I don't want to get into this one because, look, you can see it. It's a review. If I start talking about players and this and that, we've gone way off track, completely. At the moment, the way I see it, Arsenal for this game right now, to be perfectly honest, they can be proud, hold their heads up high. It's 3 points that we needed, 3 points that we've got, and 3 points that can carry us into, hopefully, a better position in 2025 and to continue this roll. 2 losses in this season so far is decent. Too many draws, hopefully no more. The pressure's back on Liverpool. The ball is in their court. It's up to Liverpool to respond. We have Brighton next. I am very hopeful that we will beat Brighton. I think we can. I think we will. I think we've got the tools. Brighton play expansive football. Brentford tried to do that. Didn't work out. Brighton aren't a team that like to sit back, which will suit us wonderfully. Guys, I think going into these next games, we can hold our heads up high. It was a good sign today. But I'm going to end that stream here, guys. To be honest, I thank everybody for jumping on. If you guys could, please go down into the description. You're going to see a link for Akpos's channel below. Go for it. Have a look. Do me a favor. Maybe subscribe. Turn on the notification bell. You can do the same here. If you throw on the notification bell, guess what? You're going to know when I'm live and when Akpos is live. And most of the time, it'll be me, him, or everybody. Big up yourself, man. Big up. Look, guys, I'm going to end that here. Look, from the Aussie Gooner, from Akpos, everyone in Australia, it's 3 points. I don't care how we get it. 3 more points for our little tally, and hopefully Liverpool can fucking fail. Bugger it, man. It's Uru, guys. Uru.